and welcome back to Well Played, presented by The Skim. I'm Caroline Hendershot.
And I'm Blake Morgan. I got to watch some Summer I Turned Pretty last week. Because you bullied me.
I was just about to say, you know what my favorite thing about you is that you're the younger sister I never had, that I can bully you into things.
True.
Like, I can bully you into doing things with me like my sisters did to me.
Yeah.
So technically, I'm just passing on the love that I was taught. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Welcome.
Well,
you're
it worked,
Hendershot.
except I have thoughts.
Okay,
and also, I said I watched it. I only watched like the first episode.
I freaking knew it. I was going to say, what episode did you get to?
I'm bad at binging.
Okay.
I'm really bad at binging. Also, it was terrible, so I couldn't continue watching.
It is a little cringy, but
it's so cringy.
That's what makes it the show.
I know.
Okay, quick, gut check. Team Conrad, Team Jeremiah.
In the first episode of season 1.
There's literally a clear answer from the jump.
Wait, Jeremiah?
What are you saying?
I think Jeremiah.
Your Team Jeremiah?
Because Conrad is so angsty.
Get out of the room.
He's just so teen angst.
Get out of the room, Blake. That is literal childhood love right there.
I know.
Angst.
And also, she wants him the most in that episode.
Yeah.
Like, she has a thing for him.
I mean, he's cute.
Yeah. But then I can't believe she gets involved with the other one.
I know.
Sorry, spoiler.
That's where the plot thickens.
But also, my problem with the show is that she was never ugly to begin with. So it's like really disingenuous for them to call the show The Summer I Turned Pretty. It's just like the summer I went through puberty.
Yeah, totally. But you know, like as a girl going through puberty, your mind just plays tricks on you and you think like everything's
I'm
wrong.
ugly.
Yeah, exactly. When you're absolutely not.
Yeah.
I got to see you last night on a school night.
It was a school night. It was Monday.
Because we got to go to Diana Taurasi's premiere, I guess it was
her premiere.
Yeah,
she was there.
Of her Amazon Prime series called Taurasi, and it's a 3-episode series coming out this Thursday.
Yeah, August 7th.
And we watched episode 2. Mm-hmm. And she was so cool and so scary at the same time.
I know. And I'm like really trying to hold back right now on telling you guys the story because it was so crazy.
There were so many details I had no idea about.
Yeah. Basically, the first episode is like a recap of her growing up and how she got to UConn, blah, blah, blah. Episode 2 is like what she had to do in the offseason, aka go to Russia to play basketball because they paid her so much money.
And like the storyline behind it. And also, you know what I really think I came to the conclusion of? Of like why she rubs some people the wrong way is because she tells it how it is, and it's like that old school athlete mentality, kind of like Kobe and Jordan, where they're like, I'm gonna shoot you straight, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, and you might hate me for a little bit, but I'm gonna make you a really good teammate and I'm gonna get you to win. So like,
and she did.
Sorry.
And then she actually did it.
Yeah. And so and I just don't think I realized how much the league went through when the economy took a hit in 2006, 2007, because one of my favorite things she said was, when the economy goes down, the first group to get hit is women, especially women athletes.
Yeah.
And so that was like when the W really struggled and a bunch of teams folded and all of that.
She didn't say that in the docuseries, but she said that in a Q&A, special Q&A after the film or the docuseries. That was a really good point. The thing that she said to, not to me. She said
she spoke to you personally. Your
she
good friend,
me
Diana.
In the eye. She said, Blake, honey. No, was that what she said? That thing about like, you know, the WNBA at that time in my life was not as important to me, I'm paraphrasing, as like the Russian basketball league was, because they weren't paying her or valuing her as much. Like, it didn't play as large of a part in her life at that time. And she was like, it sucks to say, but it's the truth.
Yeah, nuts.
I was like, whoa, that like really puts into perspective, first of all, how far women athletes, women basketball players have come, but just like how bad it was at the time. Yeah. So all this to say, we had a great time. The drinks were flowing. The candy was being munched on.
I had like 6 buckets of
it's true.
Sour Patch Kids.
Yes. And it was really good. We did, obviously no one's paying us to say this. I wish they were, but like truly go watch it when it comes out on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm excited to see episodes 1 and 3.
Yeah.
Okay, other TV this week that's coming out, Hard Knocks episode drops tonight. Right. So we won't get to recap it on this episode, but by the time this episode comes out, it will be available to watch.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, I don't know what episode 1 entails, but you bet your ass I'm locked and loaded in for tonight. Hand. Yes, Blake.
Okay. Do we think Haley will be in episode 1? 1, 2, 3.
Yes. God, I hope we're not wrong. That would be so embarrassing. I feel like she's probably busy, but like maybe there's like a FaceTime cameo, you know, and that counts.
Yes.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see. And then I guess this technically isn't like a TV show, but there's a full slate of football games this weekend because preseason finally here. Your girl is going to Green Bay, Wisconsin on Friday.
You're so lucky.
I know. Everyone wants to go to Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Cheese.
I
would.
Land of the cheese curds and spotted cow beer. I'm very excited. It's a very like Wisconsin thing. So yeah, there'll be a whole slate of games on Friday, Saturday. That whole
So if you follow
shindig.
Caroline at cghendy.com
on
Instagram,
international,
you can keep up with her Green Bay adventures, right?
yes, you can,
better
and
be
make
posting.
sure you're also. Yes, I will, but also make sure you're checking out our full length video of this and every episode on YouTube. Just search for "Well Played" by The Skim, or if you prefer to listen, make sure you're hitting the follow button on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts, and you're following BLAAA4KSE.
It's like a rap. At this
It
point.
is. It is. You got a really good rhythm to it.
I
So
could
now
make something with that.
Yeah, you could. Maybe you
Okay.
should. All right. Shall we get into playing the field?
Yeah, let's play the field.
Okay, let us. All right, we begin playing the field with a story out of the National Women's Soccer League where Trinity Rodman,
Our
baby,
gal.
back and better than ever. She returned to the pitch and scored a game-winning goal against the Portland Thorns. Trinity had been out since April with a back injury that she's been battling since 2021. Let me tell you from experience, back injuries, not fun. They never go away. But didn't stop her from scoring in her first game back, and not only that, scoring the frickin' game winner.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty emotional moment.
Yeah.
First, like, not only the aftermath when she was giving that interview that went pretty viral, but just like she scores the goal. And, you know, they do the celebration that they always do. You run to the player who scored the goal. You do the, you know, circle up. You're jumping. But she's kind of like not even jumping. She's just like in disbelief that she
she's
did
like
it.
double over, like already crying.
Yes, exactly. And they're all kind of like comforting her, but also still really excited. It was like a really tender moment.
As a crier, this is relatable. There's nothing like a happy cry, but there's nothing like a happy cry when you're proud of yourself. You know, that one hits different.
Yeah.
And it's very uncontrollable.
Oh, yes.
Not that I can control any of my
You
crying.
can't. We know that about you.
Yep. No.
But it was so cute, and her not cute. I don't mean to like patronize, but like it truly was so beautiful.
It was very heartwarming. Yeah.
Yes, to see her in her post game little interview where
She like couldn't talk because she was so
couldn't,
emotional.
and she couldn't control herself because she was so proud, and she was just like this back injury, man.
And she said it was the hardest thing that she had to overcome.
exactly.
Yeah.
Love this for her.
Yeah, it's not easy, let me tell you.
And I love this for me because this means that I will be seeing her in the Gotham game on Saturday.
Heck yeah, girl.
And thank God I checked the time because I thought it was at 3 p.m. on Saturday. It's
Yeah.
at 12.
Oh, Jesus.
So I would have shown up.
You
to
would have missed
Harrison.
the entire game.
Been like, Trini, where you at?
Trini.
She would be gone. She'd be back in D.C.
Are you going to dye your hair in honor of her old pink? Because she doesn't have pink hair anymore.
She doesn't. Not
Are
right
you going
now.
to dye your hair in honor of old Trinity hair?
Do you want me to?
Kinda. I feel
don't know
like
if
it's something you could pull off.
I don't know if my head could go through all that bleaching.
That's fair.
but if you
okay.
want me to,
No,
say less.
no. I'm not
Say
going to
less.
bully you
Twist
that
my
hard. I'm
arm.
not going to bully you that hard. I also did see on her Instagram that she was cheering on her man's Ben Shelton from the comfort of her own bed.
Okay, I was going to say, she can't.
No, she's not a witch and she can't be in two places at once. But she was cheering him on, and she, on the caption of the Instagram video story, said like, sorry for headphone listeners, because she goes, yeah. I almost just did it to everyone listening.
You really dialed that back there. I was
Thank you so
proud of you.
much. But yeah, she's like screaming and so excited as she was watching him on TV.
Right, because she can't be wagging it around
No.
at these tennis matches anymore. She's got to be back on the pitch.
Yeah, she's a busy gal.
Right. Okay. I did also see the NWSL collab in a post with Attacking Third, which I think is like CBS Sports' women's soccer account.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They did this amazing video, guys, where a bunch of NWSL stars, Trinity herself included, did like, I guess, I don't know, like a voiceover thing with iconic lines from our favorite movie.
She's the man.
She is the man.
Because she is the man.
She's Mom, I Am a Rich Man. Do you know where that's from?
Yes.
You know. Thank you, Cher.
Cher. Thank
Miss
you.
Cher.
I couldn't think of her name for a second. Yeah, it was great because that movie, they don't make movies
They
like
don't
that
do it like that
anymore.
anymore.
They don't make cinema like that because let me tell you, there's nothing funnier than that freaking scene where Amanda Bynes gets drilled with the soccer ball like in the crotch, and she's like, oh, right. Doubles over and is like, oh, Lord, help me for the love of God.
And that atrocious wig she had to
Oh
wear.
my God, it was like so dumb, but it was
so
so good.
And let us not forget, we learned how to use tampons in that movie.
Up the nose.
Bloody nose.
Right in the nostril.
That really stuck with me. Do you have a favorite?
My favorite's Gouda. Like I could literally quote
Was that your
this.
favorite line?
No, I think my favorite is, When I close my eyes, I see you for what you really are, which is oogle. We're done. I freaking love that. I need to learn the whole monologue.
Well, I was surprised in the video that the soccer girlies did because some of them are really long.
Yeah.
You know, and they're not like, they're athletes. They're not supposed to be social media stars, and they kind of killed it. I'm not going to lie.
So good.
So you'll have to check that out, listeners.
Yeah, that was a good one. Do you have a favorite She's the Man line?
Honestly, that was my favorite.
It's the classic, you know, and it's so applicable to every single day life. Yeah. I think I said it to my siblings quite a bit. Okay, shall we pivot to some NFL news?
Yeah, because I desperately need an update on this Micah Parsons situation because last week we talked about it.
We did.
And I was like, you know, this feels like an important story, so we need to talk about it. And now it's becoming even clearer to me that it feels even more important.
Yep.
And I have some real learnings to take away from this.
Yes.
I want you to explain to the listeners, just like remind us what happened last week.
Yep.
And then catch us up to where we are today.
Yep.
And then I'm going to ask you some really basic questions for you, but I think that will help all of us who don't really know what's going on.
Ask me as many questions as you need, sweet cheeks.
So start off with telling us what happened last week and, you know.
Okay, so last week we talked about how Micah Parsons wanted to get paid and he was holding in during the Cowboys training camp. So he was at camp, he had reported, but he was not participating because he has some back soreness.
For the Cowboys.
For the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys. You know, the cheerleaders football team.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's their football team. Yeah,
They own it.
Exactly. But how the turntables, because let me tell you, Micah Parsons was like, okay, we're going to play this game. So on Friday, I believe it was, he released the classic Notes app iPhone statement. And let me tell you, this statement was not just like a couple quick lines. It was a full-blown narrative.
It was a recounting of
Took
events.
me a few moments to read through the whole thing, but I really appreciated the detail. And essentially, long story short, was he ended the whole, like his whole spiel per se with, I no longer want to play for the Cowboys, and I have formally submitted my trade request. So he officially has requested a trade from the Dallas Cowboys because apparently, in summary, there was a lot of shit going on behind the scenes. Like there were some closed door negotiations happening where like his agent wasn't present. So like they were almost like trying to negotiate with him, which like not
It's like
cool.
you can't talk without your lawyer. I feel like your agent in that case is almost like your lawyer.
Totally. And then like also it seemed, the way that I read Micah's statement, it seemed to me that he thought the Cowboys were kind of playing this narrative in the media and he wasn't saying anything about it because he was just trying to be the bigger person. But they were like feeding the media these kind of narratives about him being difficult and all of that. So anyways, I am happy for Micah. I hope he finds his worth and his value elsewhere because let me tell you, the Cowboys, they never have a shortage of drama. And it is just like woof.
Yes. And the way that I was thinking about this is like, it's like with us. If we had a job and we felt underappreciated, it's like, would you stay for just a little bit amount of money? No. Or I hope you wouldn't, Miss Listener.
Yeah. I mean, like, definitely different because I don't have the skill set of Micah Parsons.
Girl, don't sell yourself short.
Well, I just mean like I can't go on an NFL field and sack a quarterback because they get paid millions of dollars to do that. I don't think that in my current situation I could
advocate for yourself.
No, yes, of course.
We're women. We advocate for ourselves.
Of course.
Okay.
So yeah, I just feel like if you're a Cowboys fan, you expect this drama at this point because it's just always something like this.
But
with
they're
Jerry
not happy,
Jones.
right? Most Cowboy fans?
No, they're
Cowboys fans.
They're unwell
want this guy. Yeah,
because this is like one of the best defensive players in the league, and I do not say that lightly. Like he is so good and such a freak athlete, and he's still very young. So letting him go is like not a good thing. But Jerry Jones did say like he has no intention of trading him away. But
okay, but who gets to decide that?
Well, technically, he's still under contract for the Dallas Cowboys for one more year.
Oh,
but if he doesn't play, then he could get fined like daily.
He could lose all his money.
Not all of it, but a good chunk, let me tell you. Yeah, because like a similar situation happened with Hassan Reddick last year with the Jets, where like he was holding out and not reporting to camp, and he was getting fined every day that he wasn't there. And then he finally did show up, and so then they like kind of worked out a deal. But yeah, it's a very hard, I think, line to toe with being a player because like Terry McLaurin, who's a wide receiver for the Commanders, the Thursday, the day before Parsons released his statement, Terry McLaurin requested a trade. Then you also have Trey Hendrickson on the Bengals, who's a defensive player who also hasn't formally requested a trade, but is like was holding out of camp for a little bit. Now he reported, but he's not participating. So it's like there's always some sort of contract drama
in this time period,
in training camp and postseason, all of that. But it's just like letting it drag into the preseason is always dangerous because it's a distraction no matter what. Yeah, there's no way. And like then that person isn't practicing with the team, so they're not getting the reps that they need.
That was a nice little clean analysis.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's kind of if they don't trade him, he's kind of screwed. But are there any like rumors as to where he could potentially go? Like people would want him, right? If he's as good as he is.
Oh yeah, but like I think the thing is that Dallas would be trying to get like 2 first-round picks for him, and that's like a big thing to give up.
I worry for Micah.
I know.
I'm worried for my boy.
I know. So yeah, you should just care because these players at these positions are very talented, and if they don't play on these teams, and one of those 3 teams happen to be your team, that could massively affect them. And if they, let's say, leave those 3 teams and go to 3 other different teams, and one of those are your teams, they could massively add to your team. So yeah, there's a lot of tea brewing.
You can tell I'm like a really casual football fan because I just like really care about the individual. I'm like, I'm worried for him.
No,
you know what I mean?
But I also get it because like when you start to like know more players,
just think about them as a person instead of
crazy.
Like
it's crazy.
a person, like a pawn.
Like, okay, yeah,
crazy concept.
Yeah, what a concept.
Okay. Just quickly, a couple other football things. So we talked last week about the Hall of Fame game, and I saw that it drew its largest audience since 2021 with 6.9 million viewers. But you had let me know.
Yeah.
The Chargers, they kind of crushed the Lions, which devastated my heart because, as you know, I'm rooting for the Lions to win a Super Bowl.
Of course.
Suddenly. Again, casual
logically. Fan. She's rooting for everyone to win the Super Bowl. I didn't know if you knew that
No,
or
it's
not.
not true.
She just hopes everyone has fun.
No. Jerry Jones is on my shit list, so I don't want the Cowboys to win.
But she does want Micah to win.
I want him to be happy in life.
I think everyone was watching because they were so desperate for football to be back.
God, they're really
I'm not
itching.
kidding. Like, yeah, people are like addicts and they're like, oh my God, football's back. But also like the Lions, they're a fun team to watch. And
I know.
I think that people like weren't exactly sure, you know, who was going to start, who was going to play, whatever.
But they did terrible. They lost, what was it? Let's see.
34
Put my glasses on. 34-7.
Yeah, Dan Campbell was not happy about that. But, you know, that's preseason football.
It doesn't really matter, right? No one cares?
None of the starters were playing.
Okay.
Or if they were, it was for like a very short amount of time, so I wouldn't take it.
But if they do bad, these players could technically get cut or no?
Well, a lot will get cut because right now there's like roughly 90 players on a roster on a preseason.
And they got to get that down to
53.
Okay, heard. Okay.
Yeah. And then there's like...
So it matters for them.
Then there's like 17 or maybe a little bit more on the practice squad, but yeah, it's not... There's like 30 people getting... Not fun.
It's not right.
No, it's
not
sad.
Good.
It's sad.
Okay.
I will say, Dan Campbell, as I said, he said, you're wearing Lions gear, you've got to take care of the ball or it's going to be hard to keep you around. So like you said, or they'll get cut. So, and a lot of those people that were playing were the fringe players who are like trying to make the team.
Damn, guys.
I do have to highlight though, the actual Hall of Fame ceremony because like my one takeaway.
Well, they call it an enshrinement.
Well, because they get their faces literally.
It sounds like they're dead.
Well, okay, it's actually crazy because you know how they get like statues of their heads put in the Hall of Fame?
So I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like they have like literal, I don't know what the material is. I'm not an artist, but like almost like bronze-headed statues.
I can see
all in the Hall of Fame. So
That's
like you can go
creepy.
down and you can look. And actually they're very accurate, which is kind of crazy. Yes, you can. But I don't think people do that.
No.
Yeah.
I'm a learning by touch kind of person.
Of course. Reading their face with your hands. Yeah. But so it is like kind of an enshrinement because they're literally revealing that.
I get it.
And then the gold jacket, it's all part of the ceremony. Okay. But Jared Allen, who is a former Vikings player, he was, I think, my favorite. So they speak on Friday to like a crowd and they get their gold jacket. And then on Saturday, they like walk across the stage. They shake hands with all of the other Hall of Famers. It's like a nice kind of moment. They get on stage. They get to kind of be recognized individually. And then, okay, all done. On Friday, he shouted out his 2 daughters. He was like girl dadding it.
As he should.
To the max. He was saying essentially like, if I go to heaven and all they know about is this gold jacket, I've failed because you two are my legacy.
Aww.
And I'm so proud of you and I can't wait to see what you do next. And I was like, oh my God, don't make
Crying.
me cry. Yeah. And then also Jared Allen, this was what really killed me. He went on stage on the Saturday night and was like saying hello, whatever. And then does his like signature sack move and fully ripped his pants.
And it was aggressive. It wasn't just like a little.
It wasn't a small little tear. It was
Guys,
like
look at the
seam
camera.
to crotch. Yeah, like knee to crotch
Dead
on
ass.
the seam, and like literally just flapped open in the back, and then you could see like his white underwear. I was like, and the worst part was he didn't acknowledge it.
You wanted him to acknowledge it.
Because you would have at least made a funny joke out of it, and then
Right, he
people
kinda
would have been
just
like,
walked
"Oh,
away.
that's good." He kind of walked away, and I was like, "Oh, that makes it
was a little weirder.
embarrassing."
Yeah.
If you own the embarrassment, then people can't make fun of you for it.
Maybe he wasn't even embarrassed.
I know, but I don't know. My
Guy
friend,
like that.
my friend ripped her pants in the bar, and she owned it. She stayed there all night one time in
That's
college.
amazing.
And people still talk about it to this day.
She's a legend, a local legend.
She is a local legend, let me tell you. But anyways, that was great. So I really appreciated that. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit.
I'm sorry.
No pun intended.
I wrote that. I'm sorry.
But a little pun intended. We're going to talk
that.
about the Tour de France Femmes, which is the women's race.
So first I want to talk about who won. At first we weren't even going to talk about this, but then I read her story and I was like, whoa, that's really interesting. So the woman who won is French cyclist Pauline Feron Prévost.
And you're going to be doing all the names in this section?
Okay. Heard sister. Anyway, Miss Pauline became the first French rider to win the Tour de France Femmes in 30 years. Crazy because last year she competed in the Paris Olympics as a mountain biker.
And like, here's the thing, to me,
They're different.
Yeah, to me, that's like someone in cross country going into track and doing like a sprint race and winning that.
Well, the Tour de France is still really long, but the terrains are like
yeah, like totally different
crazy.
sports, kind of. Like,
yeah, mountain biking, you're like the whole time.
What do you like?
Like literally just shaking, you know? And then cycling, you're kind of just like coasting. Somebody who has never cycled before, by the way.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Was a really accurate depiction.
Okay, but it's not only that she was a gold medalist in Paris last year. She told herself, I want to win the Tour de France within 3 years. And then she did it in 1 year.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's just like, okay, like, damn, girl.
High achieving women.
Like, make me feel bad about myself as
Seriously.
someone who can barely Peloton. And when I say barely, I mean not at all. That is insane. So yeah, that's just
Congrats, Pauline.
yeah, I can't. But we're also going to talk about another cyclist who's calling out a dangerous norm in women's cycling that not enough people know about.
Including myself.
Yeah.
I hadn't even really thought about this until we read about this. So in an interview with a French outlet, there's this French cyclist, Sadrine. It's weird. I'm just going to say it in an American accent.
Okay.
It's too much.
Okay.
You know?
You do you,
It's like
though.
when you hear someone say croissant. Croissant.
No, but like you
Instead of croissant.
can do it. I believe in you.
It makes me feel embarrassed.
Oh, don't. Safe space.
So Sadrine.
Okay.
Sadrine Caribol. She spoke publicly about women cyclists losing their periods due to overtraining as cyclists. So in cycling, which I had not known, the less you weigh, the better it is, which I guess makes a lot of sense.
Like
'Cause
aerodynamics.
yeah, it's like when you're going up
science.
women in STEM. When you're going up a hill, the less weight you have to carry, the less less energy you have to exert.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But the problem is a lot of these women cyclists feel like pressured to be super low weight to the point that they're losing their periods,
Yeah.
which obviously is not good.
Yeah, it's like, here's the tough part, I think, too, not only with athletes, but with female athletes. You're always trying to find the competitive edge that you can get over your other competitors. So to me, it makes sense almost where it's like, oh, if this is a way that will make it easier for me and make me more competitive, I will do everything I can to achieve this. But then it results in things that are not good for your body, not healthy for you, and all of that. And when we were talking about this story, it reminded me a lot of like rowing and my experience with like college athletics, because I think with female athletes and just like weight in general, it's really hard when you see like professional athletes at all different stages of life and you're like, what should my body look like? Because all we're fed growing up is like models and like people that are much thinner and not as muscular as like a female athlete typically is. And I remember we used to get weighed weekly it would go into a calculation that would adjust for our test piece on Fridays. So it would you would take your weight, you would take your time, and it would give you like an weight adjusted score. Essentially so that the smaller athletes on our team didn't get penalized for being small and still having a really good test, but their numbers were just lower than the taller and bigger and stronger athletes on our team. So it kind of just evens the playing field. But your mind first always go to, if I lose weight, then that will make the equation better.
Right.
So I went through that my sophomore year of college, and it was very common, and it almost you really have to reverse your thinking around it. And it almost, I think for me, took me getting injured to realize, oh no, I need to be strong to protect my body to then be able to sustain all the amounts of volume of training we're doing and all of that. So
yeah, it's a really weird slippery slope of you do want to compete at your best.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you were saying, the images that we're fed.
Right.
And eating disorders.
And it's obviously
body
not
image.
healthy, but I think it's a very normal thought process for women, which is really sad. But it's I feel if I were to ask my teammates about it and their kind of thought process about the whole thing, a lot of them would have said the same thing.
Yeah. And the thing that Sadrine was kind of saying in this interview is losing your period at 20 years old is not normal. Having weak bones at this age, not normal. And so I think the thing that she was kind of getting at is not even shaming women athletes for making those decisions to get that competitive edge that you were talking about.
Definitely
it was more
not
just
shaming.
Open the conversation and acknowledge that in some cases it can get dangerous, and when it does get dangerous, it needs to be stopped. It needs to be intervened,
right?
Because if you're thinking about the longevity of not only your career but also what you want in your future, if you're a woman athlete, oftentimes you're thinking about having a family. If you lose your period, that can lead to infertility.
Totally.
You know what I mean? That could hinder your ability to have a child in the future.
100%. And something else that I liked that she said was, before being athletes, we are women. And so true. And it's so tough because there's so much dialogue and discourse, I think, in today's day and age in sports about female athletes were just as good as the guys. They can hold their own. Their league should be given as much money as the men. They should be paid equally and fairly and all that. So it's almost female athletes are bottling that up in a sense and don't want to call themselves quote unquote weak or that they're having health issues or any of that, because they're willing to give themselves. But it's classic woman, almost you give too much sometimes and you don't know where that line is. And it's just good to know the signs and the little warning lights.
Yes. And it's nobody is saying that you can't be as great as men. It's just acknowledging the differences that do exist.
Right.
Because biology.
And for what it's worth, which is so annoying, it just I don't have a scale in my house anymore because it's just it's not helpful, and it's why do I need that? I'm not getting weighed for rowing anymore. Goodbye. But when you are really strong, you're gonna weigh more because muscle weighs more. So that's kind of the double-edged sword where people, I think, sometimes get tricked by the number on the scale, and it's let's just throw those things out,
Just say goodbye.
No one needs that.
Yeah, I do want to call out, there are two. So basically, Sadrine called this out in an interview, in a French interview. And then she also plugged this Instagram account that she had started to bring light to these topics, give women athletes, specifically cyclists, I think, a platform to talk about it because it's something that they deal with a lot. And so there was one Canadian cyclist, her name is Magdalene Valliere. There, I felt comfortable saying
that was
it.
Great.
Thank you. And she shared that she didn't get her period for 6 years.
That's scary.
And part of the reason why is because people around her kind of normalized it. They're you're an athlete. You're an elite athlete. Of course, that's how it is.
Yeah.
And then until she switched her nutritionist, that was the moment when they were this is actually not normal and we need to fix this immediately and course correct before it gets worse.
Right.
And it's crazy that it just takes one person,
Yes, because all you need is one little reassurance of oh yeah, this is normal. What is that called? Positive
not positive reinforcement.
Yeah, but not
it's
positive.
Not that.
But it's not positive reinforcement. I'm making bad.
It's just somebody who will clock it. I don't know.
No, it's just you get false encouragement almost.
Yes,
that's what I was thinking of.
Yes.
Yeah. And another cyclist, Kristen Faulkner, said she wouldn't have won her Olympic gold medals had her training been optimized for the skinniest version of herself instead of the strongest version of herself.
You were just saying that.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened with me. I just wasn't fueling myself properly. And your body breaks.
Yeah.
Because it's going to give at some point. And so it's like you kind of can choose how you fuel it and how you protect it. So like, let's do that to the best of our ability.
Let's do it.
But God almighty, I don't miss rowing.
Moral of the story. So this is going to be a hard pivot, but the WNBA
Try your best.
The WNBA has a dildo problem, Caroline.
I'm really thankful that you said it and you didn't make me say it because I thought you were going to make me.
No, girl, I would never do that to you.
You know me too well.
Yeah, I would.
You totally would. Yeah, I would. I did not have this on my bingo card, nor did I think that this was ever a sentence I would read about the person throwing dildos on the WNBA court was arrested. Like,
right.
That was a real article I read this week.
Right. So
and I was like, what the frick is happening?
We'll back it up first before we get to the arrest.
Yeah, let's
just
back
to
up
tell
the
you
bus.
what happened with this dildo. So it happened first on July 29th between the Chicago Sky and the Golden State Valkyries, and it ended up on the actual court, which I was surprised by. Like, it really did. They just got some range out there.
Yeah.
You know, it got on the court. They didn't stop play until, you know, the ball went out of bounds, and then they stopped play. And then the broadcast that I saw literally zoomed in, and it was a bright green dildo.
I will say, for all the things that ESPN isn't willing to show on
Right?
air or isn't willing to say, you're going to zoom in on
They
that?
zoomed right in. They showed it in full screen. Yes.
That's an interesting...
The broadcaster thing was like, oh, like, ooh, I don't know about that one.
That's so mean to put the broadcaster in that spot.
Absolutely. And then it happened again on August 1st during a Valkyries home game against the Atlanta Dream. And in that instance, the refs did stop the game.
Thank you, refs.
It didn't quite get on the court. It was more just like right under the basket, but they spotted it immediately. Another ref just kicked it right off. And then I think the poor ball, not the ball boy.
Like the people that wipe the sweat off the floor.
He picked it up with the towel covering
Yeah.
it, of course. And two WNBA players actually joked that it was theirs. One of them
Yeah.
was Sid Colson.
She's hilarious.
She's so funny. And she was just
She
like,
loves to crack a joke.
she does. She was like, damn, I did not mean for that to go that far. And then Angel Reese was like, what'd she say? She was like asking Sid Colson why her, quote, mean green was on the court, and she thought it was weird.
Yeah. But then, like, it's literally Sophie Cunningham had to tweet, stop throwing dildos on the court, you're going to hurt one of us. Which, like, okay, the fact of the object aside, which, first of all, ew, you're disgusting. Second of all, why do you think you can throw things on a court?
No,
with
that's the
like
problem.
professional athletes or a football field or a baseball diamond or a tennis court, like whatever? Why do you think that's okay? Even if it's a piece of paper. No, don't do that. What are you?
And then especially a
Who
dildo.
raised you?
You really doubled down with the dildo.
Yeah,
I'm
you-
sorry. That was an alliteration. It was really unfortunate.
It was really unfortunate, but also kind of funny. Kind of electric.
I'm sorry.
Double down the dildo.
Again, Isabel Harrison of the Liberty tweeted, "Arena security, hello, please do better. It's not funny, never was funny. Throwing anything on the court is so dangerous." It's true. You
Yeah.
were just saying that, like, throwing anything is like, these basketball players is like pretending they're like zoo animals or something.
Yeah, and also, I'm very against that. Like, literally, where are your manners? Who raised you? You think you can just throw shit at other people? No.
Yeah.
What do you
It really
doing?
got mixed reactions.
The only thing you can throw at someone else is a water balloon in a water balloon fight. That's it. No other throwing. My God.
What about a football?
Or a dodgeball. But you're not throwing it at that person. You're throwing it at their hands, like with a purpose of them catching it. You're not throwing it at their body.
That's true. That's true.
It's messed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's insane. So, police announced that a 23-year-old man, classic, was arrested
Seriously.
for throwing the mean green onto the court. And according to ESPN, he faces counts of disorderly conduct, public indecency / indecent exposure, and criminal trespass, which honestly, slap on some more because he deserves more than that. The league says that any fan who intentionally throws an object onto the court will be immediately ejected and face a minimum 1-year ban, in addition to being subject to arrest and prosecution by local authorities.
Which he was.
So I don't know, just keep the dildos at home.
Keep them tucked away. Nobody
Yeah.
needs to see that.
Those are for private
And those
use.
are like very durable objects.
Yeah.
From what I've heard.
I was also going to say, like, you know, when you're throwing like paper, like a piece of paper or a paper airplane, like you know how even when you're dropping like a penny from like a top of a building, people say like it picks up velocity. What the frick were to happen, if they were throwing it from like high up, it's going to pick up velocity.
No, seriously.
It could legitimately hurt someone.
It could knock somebody out. So keep that at home, please.
In non-dildo news, thank God, Olympic gymnast Jordan Chiles has been bopping around the WNBA showing her support, and she watched the Dallas Wings take on the Indiana Fever. She met Caitlin Clark. The moment went kind of viral. Do you care to explain why?
Yes, because Jordan met Caitlin in, I guess, like the tunnel, if you will. And immediately after Jordan's like, oh, it was nice to meet you. Caitlin says, even though you got a Dallas hat on, I'll let it slide.
Yeah.
She called her out because she was wearing a Dallas Wings hat, but she wasn't even wearing a Dallas Wings hat in the video. It was like she had peeped her story or something where she was flexing the hat.
Oh, I love that.
So she like clocked it.
Yeah, she was quick with it. I've got eyes everywhere. Don't think that you can
Jordan,
get away.
She tried to explain herself and she was like, it was my friend. She like made it for me.
No. I don't want
I know
the
where you stand.
excuses.
I know where you stand. Jordan Chiles. She also, I think, is going to another game on the 22nd.
I think she is. But I love that it's like goats meeting goats.
Oh, love that too.
I love when it's a little collaboration. Okay. A quick story to watch, I will say, because it kind of continues to develop as we speak and keeps getting more complicated.
I was going to say, a little confusing.
Second. Yeah. So it's a little bit of an in case you missed it, but also keep your eye on it. Essentially, in summary, a group led by a minority owner of the Boston Celtics was supposed to buy the Connecticut Sun. So they proposed a deal in July, presented it to Kathy Engelbert, the commissioner, for like $325 million, and that would involve moving them to Boston. Now, the whole thing that's coming out now is that essentially the board of governors, who gets the final say in this decision of whether they move or stay, was never presented the information. And so that's obviously a big faux pas in this whole.
They did not follow the rules.
No.
They will not pass go and get $200
Correct,
either.
Blake. Correct. No pass and go for you. So essentially now, because that exclusivity like clause expired, that month of exclusivity by that Boston-led group. Now there's other people in the mix that are trying to bid for the group, including the former Milwaukee Bucks owner. That there's a group led by the former Milwaukee Bucks owner who's trying to buy the team, but then keep it in Connecticut. So there's like a whole kind of
a mess,
bidding
guys.
war there. But then also there's a little bit of like behind the scenes. People are like, what's going on? Is the league trying to get a certain group to buy it so that they can kind of manipulate where the Sun goes or if it stays in Connecticut or whatever. So I think that it's going to continue to develop and there's going to be more things that come out. So we have to like kind of keep our ear to the ground and we'll update you next week if we hear anything in this upcoming week. However, how dare you try to take basketball away from the state of Connecticut? That is all we literally have. There is nothing other than basketball going on in the state of Connecticut. I love you, Connecticut, but let's admit it. There's New Haven pizza and there's basketball. That's it.
Plenty.
But yeah, it's like, that's a little sad. Yeah. They are in like Uncasville, which let me tell you, middle of nowhere.
Uncasville.
Yeah.
Like Unk is out there.
Yeah.
Courtside.
I mean, I can't tell you what Uncasville is like. I've never been there. But if it's anything like Sims Boring,
right?
Can't say
Caroline's hometown. If you didn't know that,
it's actually called Simsbury, but same thing. So, anyways, we'll keep that ear to the ground.
Until then, we're gonna send it.
We are gonna send it. You are going to start it off, my dear, and I will follow.
Okay.
Where you lead, I will follow. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Are you done? Mm-hmm. Okay. First up is none other than Lakers basketballer Luka Dončić and his childhood dreams coming true. Because like many millennials among us, his favorite boy band is Backstreet Boys. And he got to see them at the Sphere in Las Vegas after signing his maximum contract extension with the Lakers. And he had expressed publicly to Malika Andrews in April that Backstreet Boys were his favorite. And he got to meet them and like do this funny reel where like he was eye level with one of the Backstreet Boys and the Backstreet Boy was like kneeling on a table to be eye level with him.
Of course.
Yes, because he's very tall. I love this for Luka.
A man of the arts.
I love that he said that Backstreet Boys were his favorite. He's also like 26. So
he manifested
honestly,
it.
For me, as a 26-year-old, like Backstreet Boys are a little old for me.
They hit their high in the 90s.
Yes. So I was like kind of surprised that he liked them so much.
I'm here for it. I don't know. I just feel like that's good vibes. And also, I just think that was like a really good case of manifestation.
For him, yeah.
Yeah, he said it out loud to Malika, and then his dream came true.
He could have been like, I want a wife.
Yeah, no. He said, I want to be the
girl of my
Boys.
dreams.
Yep.
He's like, no, I want boys.
Exactly.
Team Backstreet Boys or NSYNC, just real quick.
I was Team Spice Girls.
I didn't ask you that.
No, but like I didn't participate in, I guess, Backstreet Boys.
I didn't really either because, again, too young. But like as an older person, I was more Team NSYNC because I have a soft spot for Justin Timberlake. My love by Justin Timberlake is
gonna
like,
ruin the tour.
I know. He's doing so bad lately.
Not great. Okay, my turn. Let's talk about Michael Phelps taking his talents to the NFL because something else that was not on my bingo card. So essentially, 4 Baltimore Ravens posted an Instagram reel, and they were in. I think it was like the facility, like cold tub, but it does look like a swimming pool because it's so
looked
big.
like a pool.
But I think it was like a cold tub.
Too big.
Anyways, they were like, did you know 1 in 3 Ravens? Which honestly, there were 4 of them, so I really didn't understand the math there, but that's okay. That's not the point. They were like, did you know 1 of 3 Ravens doesn't know how to swim? And then one would swan dive. Like off screen. And then the next one came on and was like, but we have a solution, Mr. Phelps. Swan dive. I was like, wow, you guys really
Choreographed.
cared about this. This was like a PSA and you had the choreographed moves. I loved it. So anyways, they asked Michael Phelps and he said, I'm there.
To teach them how to swim.
Yeah, but also, why would you ask an Olympian to teach you how to swim? Because like, aren't they going to yell at you for
They're going to be
doing
so
badly?
mean.
Yeah.
Or at least if you're going to do that, ask Katie Ledecky. Like, ask a girl.
Yeah, she seems way more vibey.
Yeah.
Also, she's too busy winning world championships, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay, next let's talk about the Lollapalooza celebs who showed up for Chicago sports teams
There
after
was a lot.
There was at least 2.
Did you ever go to Lollapalooza?
No. My
Me either.
boyfriend was there this weekend.
What'd you
Working.
say? Your boyfriend?
Your boyfriend? Where your boyfriend at?
Your boyfriend? Great clip.
Anyway, so first up, we've got Olivia Rodrigo, who went to a Chicago Cubs game at Wrigley Field after she headlined the festival.
Okay, baseball girl.
You a big OR fan?
I wouldn't say big, but like driver's license slaps.
Oh my God. That was a COVID hit.
I know. It slaps. And here's the thing. I got my driver's license many years before that came out.
Same.
And you would have thought I was a teenager who's going through freaking heartbreak like no other and was literally just getting her driver's license the way I sung that song.
God, it was so good.
Yeah, it was incredible.
It really was a moment.
My friend
2021.
Nadia like scream sings it still. It's not pretty.
That's the only way.
I know, but her voice is not meant for that.
Oh, Nadia. Sorry.
No, I say that to her face. It's okay.
Yeah, then Ms. Dochi made an appearance at the Chicago Sky versus Phoenix Mercury game.
And dressed to the nines.
I'm obsessed.
This girl fits harder than any fit I've ever fitted.
And she dances so good.
She's
She
just
raps.
so cool.
Yeah, I want to see her in concert, but she's not passing through New York.
That seems sad.
I know. A missed opportunity.
Yeah, come on, Doach.
Come on.
Our good friend.
Doach.
Miss Doach. Okay. I liked...
Wait.
What?
I did want to say, between the two of them,
Between Olivia Rodrigo and Miss Doach?
more so their choices of sporting events.
Okay.
I would definitely opt for the MLB game. Sorry, for an MLB game.
Why?
It doesn't seem obvious to you?
Oh, glizzies.
Not even. Although glizzy and a beer does feel more appropriate at a baseball game.
You call yourself
It's really... Listen.
Linda.
Listen.
Yeah.
I gave her the finger.
Yes.
You just headlined Coachella.
Yeah.
Going to a WNBA game is charged. It is loud and raucous in there.
Okay.
The Chicago Sky have a mascot. Not that good, but they have a mascot. I feel like they're trying to like drum up a lot of enthusiasm. Don't really know what the mascot situation is like at the Chicago Cubs game. Perhaps it is a Cub. But I just feel like you'd be able to just relax, kick back, eat that glizzy and beer.
Okay.
And not have to worry about a dildo coming your way.
You probably wouldn't have to worry about a dildo coming your way at Wrigley, but also Wrigleyville can get very rowdy.
Wrigleyville.
Which is like the little area outside of Wrigley. It gets loud.
But as a super famous person, you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I would know. I'm really famous.
Okay, good to know. Okay, speaking of mascots that you just brought up, this is my just reassurance.
Right.
That
This honestly is like barely ascended. It's more just like a PSA for me.
Blake has no idea what she did. She poked the bear, literally, me, when she was like, I want to be a mascot. And I was like, no, girl, you don't know what they go through. Those people... Mascots, sorry. Those animals go through war sometimes. And this is a perfect example of it because let me tell you, the Seattle Kraken, their mascot, Bowie, which mind you, not a Kraken, it is a troll?
Yeah,
Question mark?
yeah.
I couldn't even really decipher
He's
it.
a troll.
But it looked like a troll from Trolls. was doing a piece with one of the players, I believe, fly fishing, and none other than a literal brown grizzly bear comes full speed charging at Bowie, the mascot, and Bowie can't run.
Bowie can't run in that suit.
Bowie is
And in water.
and in the little fishing waders thing. It like no shot. So
How'd he get out?
I don't know. He was like I guess, were shuffling quite quickly, and the bear stopped charging. But like that was scary, and so I just think that you needed to see that because my God,
I kind of have experience with that already because I did go to sleepaway camp.
I can't with her.
Mind you, it was a Jewish sleepaway camp. I'm not Jewish.
Here,
I learned many prayers.
added to the lore.
One of the things though that we had to go through was
Being
bear
chased
raids.
by a bear.
Not chased by bears, but bears would come on campus.
Okay,
And then we would have to immediately go to the closest bunk. And then somebody would have to like, literally, I remember I have a vivid memory of this SUV driving up on the lawn. And they were like, because we just got back from Hershey Park. And we put all of our candy wrappers in the garbage. And everyone was like, why do you do that? There's sugar all over this. All the bears are going to come. And they came. And then somebody with an SUV had to come honking on that horn because you're supposed to make a lot of a noise when a bear comes. In case you didn't know.
This is a story time I
that.
could have lived without.
I learned that at 11 years old.
Okay.
So I could live with it.
Well, that was great. I don't think you would do
could
well
live
if
with
you were
it.
in a mascot suit, though.
You know what I couldn't live with though?
What?
The Nicki Minaj challenge because I couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah, that was the other thing that
That was our last Send It. And if you don't know what it is, it's basically Nicki Minaj came out with this music video in 2013 for her song High School. And she's posed beside a pool and she's in super high heels and she's crouching in a squat.
Like, yeah, squatting with her leg crossed over.
Exactly.
And now people are redoing it, which I don't know why, because this music video is over 10 years old.
People, including one of our past guests, Sean Johnson.
Yes.
She did the Nicki Minaj challenge on top of a Jenga set.
Yeah, because now people are trying to do it on like as
Crazy
creative
surfaces
as possible. There was someone who did it on the literal backboard of a basketball hoop.
Like on the...
That was floating in a gym.
And like the surface is probably like this.
Too far.
Too
far. It's giving Tide Pod challenge. We're going to start hurting ourselves and not realizing what we're doing. And then we get in precarious situations. And before you know it, you're eating detergent. Mm-hmm. Let's not
breaking
do that.
your ankle. I would break my ankle. Sierra also did it, Russell Wilson's wife. She did it on like 2 stacked dumbbells.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, we get it.
I like it.
I don't. It scares me.
It's dangerous though.
It really scares me. It's like jail for all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. You're going to hurt yourselves. Okay.
What was your favorite?
I think my favorite has to go to the Seattle Kraken, Bowie, getting chased by the grizzly bear. It cracked me up. Honestly, only because no one was harmed. Thank God. But it was hilarious.
Good for you.
Good for you. What was yours?
Mine was Luka because he's living his hot boy summer.
Yeah, he is.
Ever since he graced the cover of Men's Health magazine.
Yeah.
Things have been up and to the right for him.
Yeah.
Maybe next is the girl.
I mean,
or boy. Who knows?
signed his deal with the Lakers, donated some money, got skinny. Like
He got snatched.
he's on one. Maybe there already is a girl and we just don't even know.
Or boy.
Or boy. All right, that's it for this episode of Well Played. We'll be back in the studio next Tuesday with another episode.
Yes, ma'am.
So make sure you're tuning in. Until next time, thanks for listening to Well Played.
The only podcast in a league of its own.